of shoes, but you're going to be supervised. You're going to wear, proper attire.
She need horseshoes.
No, I didn't think I mean, no, no,
She need horseshoes.
well, if that's what it's got to be, that's what it's got to be. But it's a simple, it's as simple as that. It's how you got to get control back. And that's how it's done. So it's just definitely this job. I've been in this job for this time. I learned, the way I learned it. That's how I learned it. You come.
You are now tuned into Miss Wells, America's health teacher, and the 100 Health Show. 100. The Health Show. 100 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 Health Show.
Why is coenzyme Q10 so important for energy production in the body? We need to go back to biology. Okay, so we know that energy is created in mitochondria in cells. When we burn a fuel source like glucose, for instance, we need to grab those high energy electrons and transfer them to the inside the mitochondria, where they can join something called the electron transport chain, which is in the inner membrane of the mitochondria. Now, before we can transfer the glucose electrons to the mitochondria, we first need to convert that glucose into pyruvate, then acetylcoenzyme A. And it's that acetylcoenzyme A which joins the citric acid cycle in the matrix of the mitochondria. Now, the citric acid cycle strips the acetylcoenzyme A of high energy electrons, and these high energy electrons join the electron transport chains by joining protein complex 1 and protein complex 2. These are proteins which are embedded in the inner membrane. So when the high energy electrons join protein complex 1 and protein complex 2, they need coenzyme Q10 to ferry the electrons from these two complexes to the third protein complex embedded in the inner membrane. Now, if there was a deficiency of coenzyme Q10, then electrons will build up in these complexes and eventually leak out, where they will prematurely combine with oxygen to form free radicals, which can then damage these membranes and these cells. They can eventually lead to disease. Now, once the coenzyme Q10 has transported the electrons to protein complex 3, they're then transported to protein complex 4 via cytochrome C, where at the right time and place they combine with oxygen to produce water. Now, because we're moving high energy electrons, we use that energy to push these hydrogen ions from the inside of the mitochondria to the inner membrane space. So as the electron transport chain is shuttling electrons from protein complex to protein complex, at the same time it's pushing protons in this inner membrane space. After a period of time, we get a massive concentration of hydrogen ions or protons in this inner membrane space, and they're able to flow down their concentration gradient, and literally they turn a small turbine called ATP synthase, which is used to produce ATP. Think about a hydroelectric dam where water flows down a mountain, turns a turbine to produce electricity. We do exactly the same thing in the body, but instead of water, we are using the flow of protons or hydrogen ions, and we're producing ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is the energy currency of the body. So now you know why coenzyme Q10 is vitally important for energy production in the cell. So to summarize, it basically ferries high energy electrons from protein complex 1, protein complex 2 to protein complex 3. If it wasn't there, we would get a leakage of electrons where they would combine prematurely with oxygen to produce free radicals, damage the cell and cause disease. So make sure you top up with your CoQ10.
Hey y'all, this is Miss Wells, America's health teacher, owner and operator of Abundant Health Services. I am here with your 1Hunnid health tip. So I want to pop in really quick and tell you about one little ingredient that can help you improve the blood flow to your brain, help lower your blood pressure, as well as heart disease risk naturally. Y'all know how I feel about heart disease and how it has ran rapid through my family. So cacao powder, something that you can incorporate with your friends.
Woo woo! Listen, this is our final episode of the year. I am Shantae Wells, America's health teacher, owner and operator of Abundant Health Services. Basic steps to better health. Listen, we are going to close this year off strong. We are going to do all that we can do to get lit in our energy. We're going to light up our mitochondria. We're going to light up this ATP. How we going to do it? Listen, we finna get lit with that coenzyme Q10, baby, or as we like to call it, CoQ10. Let's go. All right. So your girl ready. Your girl ready. Your girl ready. I'm ready to go ahead and go hard in the paint. Your girl ready. Your girl ready. We got to go back to this intro. We got to go back to this intro. We got to go ahead and we got to do this thing right. How about that? How about that? Let's go. Hey. 1Hunnid. 1Hunnid.
America's health teacher. And the 100 Health Show.
Get your people in. Pull up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What? Hey. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hey. One hundred. All right. Listen. All right. Enough of the intro. So let's get to it. So what I want to do is I want to start with a quote by Les Brown. And Les Brown said, listen, if you can get up, if you can look up, you can get up. Let me say that one more again. If you can look up, you can get up. That's what Les Brown said. So listen, it's time for you to look up in your energy. It's time for you to go ahead and look up when it comes down to your heart health, when it comes down to your immune health, when it comes down to your overall wellness. It's time for you to get up. It's time for you to get up and look up. And so today's topic is all about how you light up your energy, with CoQ10. This is something we naturally have, but it's also something we have to also consume and get more of. All right. So let's get to what I call our health stories, right? So health stories. Why do you care about this? Because I used to be somebody back in the day that was low energy. In my 30s, I was tired all the time. I mean, I'm talking about like tired, bone tired. I would say probably like around 34-ish is when I really hit that first crash. And so for me, I was showing up everywhere, just felt like broke, busted, and disgusted in my energy. You feel me? Like I just always had to try to use so many other external things to try to energize myself. But here's the thing, that don't have to be your story. You feel me? You don't have to have that as your story. Like as the world turns, feel like you in a soap opera. Listen, I'm finna give you some simple, easy things that you can do to actually help you naturally have more energy. You feel me? I love y'all and I want to see you win. So when you're low energy, it used to affect all what I call the 5 components of health. I had low energy socially. I had low energy physically. I had low energy mentally. I had low energy socially, spiritually. I had low energy. So that does not have to continue to be your story. You feel me? So it affects everything. It's going to affect your heart health, your immune health, because when you're down and when your energy, which means that your mitochondria are not functioning and operating at their maximum capacity, that means that, listen, all those other areas that I just mentioned are affected and impacted by that. So because I want to see you win, and because I know that your health is your business and it's your lifelong business, I got some good news for you today. All right. So what is it? What is this coenzyme Q10? I'm going to literally just call it what it's called for the most part everywhere, which is CoQ10. All right. CoQ10. That's how we normally, talk about it. All right. So this is something that you should look at as like a ferry. All right. You know how a ferry help you get across and get from one place to the next? This that transport, but it's not any type of transport. This is like the transport having transport with the A team. I don't know if any of y'all from grew up in the 80s and 90s and late 70s. Listen, the A team. Oh my God, faced with his crazy self. Listen, the A team had the best, most lit transport. That's what that CoQ10 is. It's the most lit, listen, transport that's out there and that can go hard in the paint. So here's the thing. When CoQ10 is not where it needs to be and it's not able to pick up what it needs to pick up, the transport to get it the way it needs to go, listen what happened. Listen, those that get stuck like Chuck, because they ain't get on the ferry, they start, playing around and they become gangsters in your cell. They become gangsters in your cell. And so CoQ10 got to be the A team, go ahead and snuff them out. Listen, and be the roughnecks that you need so that they can take care of them. Because listen, when things are not transported like they're supposed to get to where they're going, listen, they turn into free radicals. They start wildcatting, messing stuff up, messing with your mitochondria, messing with the cells, and amongst other things. So here's the thing, that CoQ10, not only gonna do that transport, but that CoQ10 gonna check them boys and get them up out of there. You free radicals and oxidative stress and all these things that help cause heart disease, high blood pressure. Listen, your insulin sensitivity. Listen, CoQ10, that's the A team. I'm telling you, that's that A team. You want to be about that CoQ10. Listen, I'm telling you, because that's your ferry, that's your transport. But that's your A team, because they're going to go ahead and help you do something about them free radicals that's cutting up, causing you to have low energy, cutting up, disrupting stuff in the cell. Listen, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that, Cletus. All right? So now that you understand that your CoQ10 is like a ferry and the A team all mixed up in one, I think we can go on ahead and let's get into it. I call this segment Meeting Your Waterloo. Meeting Your Waterloo is aging. That is going to be the thing that's against you staying lit and getting lit in your energy. That's what's going to be working against your mitochondria, working against your CoQ10 natural levels is the aging process. That's your Waterloo that you got to get through. That's the Waterloo that you're going to have to meet. You feel me? Because your levels every year starts to dip off. You feel me? So you got to do something. You got to run a solid offense to do something about that. You have to be able to compensate for what's going to happen. That Waterloo. Don't run from it. You can't run from it, because you run from it, you're going to stuck like Chuck and end the health pipeline to a premature grave. And that's not what we're trying to do. That's not what we trying to do. How about that? All right. So CoQ10, your Waterloo, is because you age every year, your levels tend to go down. Unless, I feel like an infomercial. Wait, there's more. Listen, you can do something about that, because there are some phenomenal sources. There's some phenomenal sources out there, like organ meats. For those of you who are into it, I ain't gonna do it. I feel like that little meme that went viral, or that video that went viral with the little girl talking about, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. That's how I feel about them organ meats. I understand all the but listen, I'm not gonna do that chicken liver. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do the beef heart and all that kind of stuff. I ain't gonna do it, Cletus. I ain't gonna do it. I know it's a rich source. It is the richest source as far as the meats go when it comes down to CoQ10. But I ain't gonna do it. I'll get it another way. But I'm just not gonna do that darn organ meat, boo. So if you're not like me, I suggest go ahead, check off your weekly routine, get you a couple organ meats in, and you know what I'm saying, keep them moving, making sure that your CoQ10 levels is right. But if you like me and you refuse to do it that way, there are other food sources. I believe the best source is to try your best to get things from food. Now, if you super jacked up, you may need to go ahead and buy yourself a supplement to, to stack and keep doing your, get your levels up. You feel me? But for those of us who are, not there, and we don't have like hypertension, and we ain't got heart disease and all that kind of stuff, going on, or pre-diabetes, listen, you can go ahead and get started on this and running a solid health offense by incorporating some of these foods. So beef, chicken, nuts. I specifically like to recommend macadamia nuts and almonds, walnuts. Listen, these are the things that are going to be helpful with you getting that CoQ10. Listen, I go hard in the paint every day. I have nuts every day. You hear me what I say? Every day I cycle them in and out. Macadamia nuts, then I'll go to switch to the walnuts, and I switch to the almonds. I switch them. I don't do the same nuts every single day, all day. You feel me? All right. So nuts. All right. Spinach, broccoli, and fatty fish like trout, mackerel, herring, and sardines, if you like that. I ain't finna fool with none of them, so I'm just saying I'm not gonna do it. I know me. So you got to know yourself. Think about some of these natural sources, some of these options that have a healthy amount of CoQ10 in them that you can incorporate. So for me, I'm going to depend on getting mine from chicken, and I'm going to depend on getting mine from nuts and spinach and broccoli, because those are things that I specifically, consume and can consume on a regular basis. The other stuff, I know I ain't gonna do it. I know me. So it's important for you to know you. All right, so that concludes. Hey, y'all know we get in and we get out. So this is how you get lit. Get yourself some CoQ10. CoQ10. Say it with me. CoQ10. 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 C-O-Q-10. C-O-Q-10. What? C-O-Q-10. Let's go. C-O-Q-10. Let's get it. You down with ATP? Yeah, you know me. This is how you get lit with your energy. All right. CoQ10. Get the C to the O to the 10 to the Q, baby. CoQ10. All right. Listen, y'all. All right. Let me start wildcatting. Our boom shakalaka. Y'all know I like to make sure every month we're doing a boom shakalaka, shakalaka, shakalaka. You go boom. All right, I'm giving a big boom shakalaka to my homie, Big Lou, Mr. Banks, Mr. LP Banks. Listen, when I tell you he inspires me, somebody that truly goes hard in the paint, willing to walk in the living room, whatever it takes to get it in, to take care of his health. Listen, he about that. He about that health life. He about that longevity life. Listen, and I can appreciate that. So I salute you, my homie. Listen, my friend, my best friend, Mr. Luther Banks. Boom shakalaka to you, sir. You're our final boom shakalaka of the year, our final episode of the 1Hunnid Health Show. Listen, I have been your host, Miss Shantae Health Wells. Listen, aka Shantae with the flair, baby. Listen, I want to invite you to take that next step. I want to invite you to come and get lit. Listen, we've already did round 1 this past month. Listen, you can get the replay. You can purchase that and get the first lesson. But listen, we got the remix, baby, coming with that big energy on January the 27th. Listen, 2023 at 4:27 p.m. Listen, that includes the replays. 4:27 p.m. So January 27th, I want you to join me. Go ahead and sign up to register for the big energy masterclass, the remix, where I'm going to be dropping on y'all. Listen, 4 more natural ways that you can get better energy. Listen, natural ways that you can get more energy. And I'm also going to help you uncover 3 more energy vampires. I covered 12 in the first course. This is the remix. This is that follow-up to it. This is the remix. Listen, so if you like me and you like remixes, at least the ones that's real good, and I'm telling you, this one is real good. You think that first one was fire and lit, this second one is even more, baby. Listen, so go ahead, go to abundanthealthservice.com and sign up. abundanthealthservice.com. Our schedule is there. Our courses are there. Listen, there's private one-on-one sessions if you prefer that. Listen, but it's time for you to go ahead and get lit. Don't go into 2023 with low energy. There are simple things that you can do. CoQ10, I'm telling you, is a big part of your energy. So I'm going to be doing a deep dive and helping to walk you through. This ain't no boring class. Listen, I ain't no boring teacher. Listen, I get lit. We gonna flare up with that flare energy, baby. I bring that flare energy. I bring that flare energy. So I want you to meet me January 27th at 4:27 p.m. Listen, I'm Miss Wells, and I just hope that you guys will show up and show out for that big energy masterclass part 2, the remix, baby. Let's go. This has been the 1Hunnid Health Show, number 1222, a final episode of 2022. Let's get up out of here with our intro. Whoop, whoop. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Miss Wells, America's health teacher, and the 100 Health Show. 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 100 Health Show.
Where you at?
100 Health Show.
Where you at?
100 Health Show.
Hey. All right, all right, all right. Y'all make it a great day. I'm Miss Wells. Sign it off. Share this with somebody that you love and care about. Peace.